Hi, everybody. I hope everyone is well and staying safe. And I feel sorry for you guys back in the Minnesota, Michigan, uh, Indiana area fighting snowstorms. Uh, I'm sorry, allergy season's just starting. Anyway, um, on a personal note, I went to see a orthopedic surgeon on the hand, and they think I may have the start. They're checking for that. They ran a uric acid blood test to see what going on, whether I'm doing in certain areas that build up. It's in the joints. Um, Me, I'm rheumatoid arthritis. Uh, I hope not. I don't need it. So anyway, I'm hoping to get scheduled to um, try physical therapy first, see if they could get it to heal properly, or first come to shove, may have to do surgery on it to correct the condition. Um, my poor hand. Anyway, this is kind of winging it today because I got up late again. I was really tired yesterday and last night. So, anyway, as you can see on the title, Thune, Bondi, Trump and Company, ICE. Oh, and where is the Epstein files? They're finding out now that distractions don't work. When it comes to us Americans, we're pretty single-minded in a lot of things. We focused on things, and they do it like a priority. Their problem is Trump and Bondi and Noam and everything else. They don't know how to prioritize, and Bondi's going nuts. Livet's going nuts. Everybody's going nuts. Well, you know what? If they feel like they're under that stress of a job, then they need to resign and get out of the stress and have somebody in there that knows what they're doing, how to handle it, prioritizing it, do it efficiently, because those guys are not being efficient at all. Okay. Um, with me, when it comes to doing a job, I'm very focused when I'm doing the job. Okay. I want to make sure everything's done right. And their problem is they don't want to do it right. They want to enjoy the perks, but they don't want to do it properly. And screw the rules. Well, the rules are in there for a reason. I'm sorry. Uh-oh. Just a minute. I have a problem with my left hearing aid, and it doesn't want to stay in. I need to get a new hearing aid. Had these about 4.5 years now. I mean, they work fine. They're rechargeables, but the behind the ear don't work very well. So I'm looking at getting in the ear. But anyway, back to our conversation. Um, it's very you try to get through to these people and they don't really want to listen and they act like a bunch of little children when they're caught lying. Well, my other pet peeve, I should name this Wednesday Wing It Wednesday and Pet Peeve Fridays. You know? Um, my other pet peeve is they're lying, not using facts. Well, like in Thune's case, like, oh, well, Schumer did this and everything else. You're forgetting, Thune. The Republicans have the kind of a slim majority, okay? When the Democrats had the majority, they did their job. They went through all the known issues, getting them resolved, getting them passed. Everybody worked. Okay, hold on a second. Okay, that's not good. Hearing a fire engine go by. Um, but they need to focus on things, and they're not doing it. Democrats, we focus on it. We get it done. We get things passed. We, if there's a glitch in the policy, a big gray area in the policy, then that gets looked at, that gets debated, that gets, in other words, both sides talk about it and work it out and try to get the whole picture of what the gray area is, why that gray area is not fitting that policy or not fitting it very well. So this is what we need to do. And people say, hey, well, that's not going to work. And I go, have you ever been in those that say that, have you ever attended a town meeting or a town hall or when the mayor and the councilors get together and they have their meeting, okay? Well, the town meeting, as they call it, to solve an issue. Have you ever been there? Have you ever been in one? Have you ever been in a volunteer firefighters meeting discussing concerns? I have, okay? I've been both in the town hall. I did it one time in Roy and one time here. But we get with our counselors, well, especially in Roy. Roy's a lot smaller town here than Lakewood. It's about the size of your little towns in the Midwest, okay? Now, some towns in the Midwest have a mayor that wears several hats. That is a fire chief. He's a mayor and pastor or police chief or assistant police chief or, in other words, they have to have somebody do all these functions. But if you want to solve a problem and you see something that may endanger the community as a whole, you go see your counselor, whoever, your town council person who represents your area, and say, hey, we got a problem in this area. We got these trees. Maybe a good idea to get these trees checked out by a professional tree professional and see if those trees are diseased, and if they are they on the verge of falling down? And you don't want somebody, you want to do prevention is what you really want to do, right? Well, you have the mangas on the other side. They don't want to do prevention until something happens to them. And that's when they sit there and scream and holler and cry and everything, and we go, well, we told you so. So we need to push back. We need to drag out the respective horsewhips, which I do know how to handle. Drag out a horsewhip and start cracking it and say, you get back in your office and you start doing things correctly. You start following the laws. Laws are put there for a reason. If you don't, you're out the door. Threaten to fire them. Especially the mangas and the Senate and the thing. And they go, Well, you don't want to say things like that to them. Bull crap. They work for you. You are the boss. You and I are the bosses, right? And so you need to crack the whip at them and force the issue of a impeachment of the whole cabinet. Impeach the whole cabinet, get rid of Trump, rid of everybody, and get a professional set of people in there and to de-escalate a lot of things. I would like to see ICE banned. Those guys have been going lawless. And pretty soon, one day, they're going to pick on the wrong person who is an off-duty police officer who is also allowed to carry weapons, who also is required to carry a weapon. The ICE are going to find themselves in the middle of a gunfight with the police. And I would like to see the police departments start protecting the population. Stop being afraid. And say, no, they're wearing masks. They're not. They are not federal officers. They don't even act like federal officers. So don't listen to Stephen Miller. Don't listen to Noam. Don't listen to Bondi. Because they're not listening to the laws either. They go, well, you go down to their level. I said, well, maybe that's the only thing they understand. Okay? I'm not condoning violence, but they gotta learn a lesson. So push back. Bare your teeth and push back. And I like to see some of their family members start yelling at them and pushing back. And after Noam shot her dog, her husband divorced her. But, people like that, they don't belong in office at all. They don't belong there. Trump should not be in there. Okay? And I think who really helped him win the election is Elon Musk. That guy needs to be charged, jailed, sentenced, deported, and the SpaceX board needs to get rid of him. And they need to, not only SpaceX, but Boring and Twitter, they need it. Their boards need to get rid of him. Deny him money, deny him everything, and deport him. Now in South Africa, he has a conviction in South Africa. I don't know what he did. I think he did fraud or did something pretty serious. And it was so serious that his own father disowned him. Elon Musk. Mm-hmm. And all these defamation suits that Trump is trying to bring on, well, the truth comes out. When you're a public official, you're held to a higher standard. You're supposed to set an example professionally of how things are done and how you behave and everything else. Was Trump ever taught to behave? No. He was never taught to behave. In some ways, I wish his family, Trump's family, would stop being so damn afraid of him and yank him out of there, put him in a mental hospital for the criminally insane, and keep him there. And stop being afraid of him. He's just a pathetic little bully. And yes, he's a megalomaniac, but that's where he belongs. And yes, dementia is a secondary thing. That's a bad combination. But at least he's forgetting some things. I really do. Stephen Miller needs to be in jail because he's also committing the crime. So we need to push back, people, and stop saying, well, this and that and the other, and I go, when you say that, you're letting it go on and on and on. You're not pushing back hard enough. I push back by speaking out. That's how I push back. And they go, the police, the people that, like first responders, they work for you. The police departments work for you. The fire department works for you. Um, and yes, there are laws. There are some laws there you do and don't. You don't do arson. You don't do robbery. You don't do, you know, murder or anything else. I mean, why? But there are people like similar to Trump that commits these things and have some mental issues. Well, like in uh, Nick Reiner's case, his own brother and sister had him committed. They want to keep him there, have him go through trial. The guy knows what he did. And they think now by reason of insanity, is not going to work. So, and of course, there's no more death penalty unless it's really bad. Okay. Um, and of course, with the death penalty, that doesn't bring back the people you lost. Of course, it prevents that person who committed the crime from ever doing it again. But, there's a pro and cons to that. So, um, but we need to push back. Ban ICE. Get rid of the tariffs. Reduce the tariffs. Or get rid of the tariffs. Ban tariffs. In other words, don't use tariffs anymore. If you want to punish a country for something that they violated international law for, then they are fined by economic sanctions. That works better. Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna go looking at getting some lunch. Tomorrow and Sunday is the divisional championship weekend for the NFC and AFC teams. Seahawks are taking on the San Francisco 49ers. Um, Second time this month. Because earlier this month we beat the 49ers. But we're facing them again. Because they won the wild card. 49ers did. And we're pretty healthy in the Seahawks team. We really are. So anyway, have a good weekend. Root for your team. And we'll see where this goes. And after divisional, which is the following weekend, is the conference, which you have the AFC and NFC battling out for who's going to represent both AFC and NFC conferences that will go to the Super Bowl. And as I also mentioned on Wednesday, or heard with the Seattle Kraken, we're in the playoffs. So we're doing pretty good, unless something happens. But the Seattle Kraken is doing pretty good. Seattle Kraken is our hockey team here. And so we'll just go along. It'll be fun. Anyway, be sure to persist. Let me try again. Be sure to insist, persist, and push back. And let me check my calendar. It's on the 16th is, look, that's the wrong place. There we go. The 19th is Martin Luther King Day. Uh, I'll be discussing a little bit of that. That one will be a short live show. Um, and see what happens. But again, keep pushing back. We got to push back every day. And, you know, I would really like to see some actual cowboys rope all the ICE guys, rope them up, hogtie them, and send them off to jail. In other words, be deputized and help the police arrest these guys. I should not be on the streets, ever. So, anyway, I will talk to you later. Love to all. Have a great weekend. And I will post this on my YouTube channel. I need more subscribers. And be sure to share if people complain and everything else. But if they have a problem, they can go to my moderator. I just state my opinion. Okay? So anyway, talk to you later. Love you. Bye-bye. Have a good weekend.